Saturday morning, just got back to the boat, left it in a bit of a state. I've come to check the paint and put this seat back on. Probably ruined it all by covering it in black silicone, but I'm going to take most of this off and end up painting the board, but that's just now weather sealed in, so that's quite good. Just loads of bits and pieces, loads of sander discs and some camping snack food, some gloves. Here today with a friend of mine, Tim, who came with me to buy the boat, and this is his first time back. He was here helping to put the tile spaces in when I was painting the floor. So this is Tim's first time back. Say hi, Tim.
Hi. Hiya.
Yeah, cool. He's come up today in his Tesla, so we're going to show that off around the yard, I think. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, so we've come today to tidy up. Not sure what the weather's going to be like, but we'll see if we can get any painting done. As I've been putting tools away and tidying up the boat, Tim's been out here grinding. Looks like he's almost ready for fur tan. Let's have a look at what he's done. He's done absolutely an amazing job. Look at this. This is absolutely glorious. Yeah, it's all back to bare metal. There's no sign of any rust at all. In theory, we could paint straight over the top of this, I think. But let's not risk it. Let's throw some fur tan on it. We're risking the gods today. Might be some rain, so we'll get some fur tan on it and we'll see what happens. Tim was going to fur tan, but I think he'd rather me do it. Okay. So let's start with the rust treatment.
I've been actually quite fortunate with the weather.
Yeah, considering it was supposed to rain all day, or at least there was a chance of it raining all day, we've been really fortunate. This stuff goes sticky really quickly. So
It looks it, yeah.
It's really thin, but then it turns like nicotine, like just like thick and tacky.
Could you roll it on?
But probably wouldn't be worth it. You probably lose too much in the roller.
Yeah.
We'll do a little Bob Ross, do little crosses.
I tried to key it, yeah.
It's joke for those that missed school and watch television and stuff. These are the worst bits because you get loads of dribble. It's super thin, so if you can start at the top and have it dribble into where you're working, I think the better.
So how do you know how much to mix, yeah?
Well, this isn't a mix, this is just a pour out. I just kind of guessed at this point after doing it a few times. So I don't know if we've got enough. We might have enough. We might have enough to do a base coat and then just go and touch everything up with extra other little bits. I mean, there's bits like this don't really need a whole coat cover because there's no metal showing. But it's suddenly safe to be better safe than sorry. So, but anywhere that's exposed needs some of the fur tan on it. It's going to stain the paint. Oh shit, see what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get that all around that and all inside the holes. The hand starts to hurt. Make sure it gets into all the little nooks and crannies that it can. And then we go in a different grain as well, just try and work it in. So, just to make sure it gets into everywhere it can. lot on the weld because there's bits that we can't get into. And do the same at the top as well on that little seat.
Yeah.
Try and catch it. Making sure it's all works well into, like down here it's now tar.
Yeah. You can see it's thicker, yeah?
Yeah, so you can't really touch it up, you're more like going over with a second wet coat.
And does that just wash off then, yeah?
Yeah, it gets a bit tarry and then you wet it just to soften it up, loosen it up, and then it'll come off with paper towels, or if you want to use a regular towel you can do that, but you have to keep rinsing it over and over. You end up with all the iron that's been traded out for the zinc in the towel. It was the first time I did the ceiling. I tried it that way and ended up washing out the towel for about an hour and a half in the sink in the facilities here. So that was probably just about the right amount.
Do you deliberately not patch everywhere, or?
I mean, there's no need to do all the bits that haven't had any scrabbling done. Like, it's all only these little bits where we're back to metal. There's a bit there.
There's a bit here as well, yeah.
Nice. Anywhere else we've missed bits?
Not really, I don't think. Looks good, yeah?
Yeah. So now let's rest for a couple of hours. So, in Tim's eagerness, we've been quite lucky with the weather today. So, Tim's done a really good job of sanding all this back, and we've thrown some Furtan on it. To be honest, it's at the point where you could probably just put paint straight on top of it. With an eagerness to continue working, Tim has taken his attention to the rusty hatch covers, hinges. So he's just clearing those up now, and we'll put some Furtan on that and maybe put some paint on. We've been quite lucky so far. I mean, these have been in really bad shape. If we can just switch places. If you look at these ones, this is how they've generally looked. They're a real state, so to see them to shiny metal again is absolutely incredible. It's just a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of time with the power tool. Fantastic. Down the side of the boat. Tim really enjoyed doing the grinding, so he's gone on and ground a bit more, and he's cleaned up all the hatch. I asked him to do the hatches, he's done all of them, cleaned them mostly back to metal, and we've covered the whole thing in Furtan. Like I said, we've been really lucky with the weather today. It's nice and sunny actually instead of the rain, so that's really good. This is all turning nicely with the Furtan. To be honest, he's gone all the way back to bare metal for the most part, so we could probably paint this evening. So probably going to get on with that in a little bit, but it's fantastic, it's moving forward. He's done loads of work, so it's awesome. Just a quick shot of us coming back from Screwfix. Got some blue roll. Going to take the Furtan off now as the sun starts to get a little bit low. Going to do some painting tonight, and then we'll see what happens with the different sections after they've been, you know, painted in slightly different setups, with longer Furtan exposure, shorter Furtan exposure. Yeah, we'll get some empirical data. So it's been a few hours, so just come down to have a look, and Tim's wrecked me box for standing on by the look of it, so we're just having a look at the state. I mean, he's really gone back to bare metal in most places. The Furtan's not going to do anything. I'll tell you in the bits where there's a little bit of rust left over, that it's traded out, and then, you know, we've got the oxide layer that's converted as well. But bits like this, they're never going to convert out because it's gone all the way back to solid metal. Yeah, okay. So we'll get this washed off shortly and get some paint on it before 7, I think. So it's about 6 o'clock, half 6, something like that. Just got this area all tidied up. There's a second seat done. It's not brilliant. I'll probably do another one at some point, but that's to match that, and then they'll both get painted. And yeah, and at some point we'll have to do this stern deck. But let's go and have a look, see how Tim's doing. So Tim's now just been keying this, and now he's putting a coat of acetone on just to clean it all up, make sure there's no grease left on it, anything like that. Just put a nice key into it. So, as we come down the boat, he's done a lot of work fur tan's come off, it's all ready for paint. I'm going to mix some of that up shortly and we'll get it on and it'll hopefully cure overnight. See, now this is a prime example about why this paint's so good. I've just been cleaning out this tray I used for last time, and there's this nice little bit of paint in the bottom, but it's basically, oh okay, it broke. It's basically rubber. Yeah, so it's got loads of bend, it's got loads of flex. My fingers all covered in fur tan. So Tim's just left, got on with more of the painting. I'll put the water filler back in tomorrow and the fender holder here tomorrow, and as we come down we've got more of the painting done, and we've done the hatch doors and the hinges. It's the first part of the side of the boat that we've done. We've done inside both sets of hinges. They were in a right state, so they've all been painted on the inside, and we've come up to, well, the test really for the paint. So, you know, we'll keep going and we end up doing the whole boat. But, you know, that's a little bit away off yet. So we'll see how we get on. So just having a look at these two little box covers I made. I appreciate this one's a bit messy with all the silicone, but we'll clean that up. And this one, the grain isn't going the same way, but if anything, I'll paint these if I don't replace them. To be honest, they're just made out of some scrap wood that I found by the side of the boat. They're pretty badly warped, but at this point it just puts a box cover on. It means in this one I can use it as storage for things that don't need to be weather sealed, that, you know, can be left outside but don't need to be rained on. And this one is basically just a lid to stop it acting as a funnel. So they'll do for now. They also work as a little bit of social area on the boat, so that's quite nice up here. It means we can now get the 2 deck chairs up here on the stern deck. It means we can now get 4 socially distant hanging out, if that's still a thing. I'm not really sure. Don't have a TV at home. Well, have a TV and an Xbox, but we haven't had an aerial for it since 2007, I think, something like that. I just want to give a quick shout out to Emma from Merseyside, sometimes known as Black Widow, who noticed that the bottom picture, the boat is facing the wrong direction, so you can't transfer across the pictures. You have to switch the bottom one around. So yeah, it's all out of whack. And just for the record, we have a Lee Rivers and a close second. Yeah, thanks a lot for the comments, guys. Do appreciate it. Hope you're having fun out there. The end of another day draws in. Got a load of painting done today. It was really nice being here with a friend. I've spent most of my time here on my own, so it was nice just to hang out and you know, talk crap all day and have some banter. I haven't done any more on my floor plan because I stupidly left my new measurements here on the back of my old floor plan, which I then repinned to the wall. So I've done no work on the floor plan yet. Most things put away. I've got the bed made, just got the paints to put away. It's amazing how dark it feels on a boat when it still feels light outside. So the paint out here looks good. So yeah, so there's my camp for tonight. Yeah, lots of fun. It's been a good day actually. Had a good time with Tim. It's been a while since just me and Tim hung out together. Just got to say a massive thank you to James as well for giving me such attention, by giving me a shout out on his channel. This guy's been nothing but awesome to me, from letting me share his fire to sharing his boat with all of us, to being very accommodating while I'm here. He's been fantastic, man, I tell you. Everyone could do with a friend like James. So yeah, thank you very much, buddy. Wish you the best of luck with the boat. Sunday morning, about 7:45. I thought we'd come and have a look at the paint, see how that's gone off overnight. Not the best finish on the doors, but as always we'll sand that flush and put another coat over. It's not bad to dry to the touch. So look at all the rest of this. Yeah, dry to the touch. This is pretty good. Yeah, really good. Okay, so I think, not too sure about the weather today. It's not looking great. It says it's not going to rain, but not too sure, not too confident about that. So we're going to put a fender holder back in pretty quick and the filler cap back in pretty quick, just in case. Cool. When I bought the boat, it came with 6 of these silver fender holders already attached in the boat, plus 6 more silver fender holders and another 6 matte black fender holders. So I thought we'd take this opportunity to see if the matte black ones fit, and they do line up with the holes somewhat. So I'm going to change the screws out for these stainless steel hex head countersunk 5mm M5 countersunk screws. So I'm going to put those in, but they're a bit big for the hole, so I'm just going to drill and retap the holes. I already did do this one off camera, and that now sits lovely. Lots of, you know, it's tapped into the boat, so a bit of silicone will make that sit nice and snug, and these won't rust out and they'll look lovely. So let's do a little bit of tapping a hole. Broke the tap. No, I just broke the handle. Well, that's the fender holder and the water filler cap back in. That's been newly tapped with new screws. That's had the old screws put back in. They're a little bit big, the screw heads, I think, for the fitting, but I actually quite like the look. So yeah, it's a bit industrial, quite like it. But yeah, so that's all my job's done for today pretty much. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got a friend coming at about 3. I don't know where to do a quick touch up on this paint. But I want to give this side a little bit more time to cure off before I sand it, so probably not. I think that's probably going to be a job for when the whole thing's done and we go over the whole thing, sanding it in a day or two, and spend a day or two rollering the whole thing. So we'll see if we can find something to do before Derek shows up.